Biden versus COVID again. As he was preparing to speak at a conference in Las Vegas, sharing her story.
This is your last move, and his next is to roll you.
On a brutal alligator attack. Saying goodbye.
It's very, very emotional to see it go.
To a 35-year-old hotel casino. And summer sports in full effect.
I've always wanted to be a professional player.
How young girls are taking on an American sport. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Anthony Cruz.
I am Denise Diaz. Today is Thursday, July 18, 2024.
Live from the Lee Kaplan School of Journalism and Media in North Miami. This is Caplin News.
President Joe Biden in self-isolation this morning after being diagnosed with COVID-19 for the third time in 2 years. The day after, President said that he will reevaluate his decision to stay in the campaign if some medical condition emerge he has diagnosed with COVID-19.
And Kaplan's Estefany Calandrillo has more on what we know so far about Biden's status.
President Joe Biden in Las Vegas on Wednesday, now back in his home in Delaware after testing positive for COVID. Telling reporters he feels fine and giving a thumbs up before boarding an Air Force One. The White House says Biden is experiencing mild symptoms, will self-isolate, and continue to carry out his duties. Biden tested positive just hours after being seen here mingling with patrons at a Mexican restaurant in Las Vegas.
He just tested positive for COVID.
Then he was supposed to speak at the UNIDO's annual conference, but he wasn't feeling well. The president's doctor says Biden was experiencing upper respiratory symptoms, including a runny nose, non-productive cough, and a general malaise. That's when they tested him for COVID. His doctor says he's received his first dose of the antiviral drug Paxlovid. This is the president's third time getting COVID. He tested positive in July of 2022 and suffered a second rebound case in the following days. From Caplin News, Stephanie Calandrillo.
And continuing our coverage on the Republican National Convention this morning, former President Donald Trump is set to speak tonight for the first time since his assassination attempt, and he accepted the nomination for president. Last night was Trump's chosen vice president's turn to take the stage, though, as J.D. Vance formally accepted his nomination. A former self-proclaimed never-Trumper, Vance said that he is all in on getting Trump back in office.
Joe Biden has been a politician in Washington for longer than I've been alive. For half a century, he's been the champion of every major policy initiative to make America weaker and poorer.
Vance continued to criticize President Biden and Democratic policies, while also mentioning his upbringing in the impoverished working-class community of Southern Ohio.
A homeowner in Longwood, Florida is ordered to fix a stormwater drainage pipe she filled with concrete this past April. This comes after she accused the HOA of installing the pipes in her property without her permission, causing issues for the residents in her neighborhood. The homeowner will have until July 22nd now to fix the broken stormwater pipes and remove the concrete, or face a $300 fine every day until the violation continues.
This morning, a Florida woman is in recovery after a shocking alligator attack. Though WFT's Julie Salomon has more insight on the story.
Somebody my size.
Rochelle Thompson needs to stay off her feet. She relies on crutches to walk after emergency surgery earlier this month.
I've heard a lot of these stories, and I've heard a lot of tragic stories of lost lives, of lost limbs.
Thompson lives near the Hillsborough River. On July 4th, just after 7 in the morning, she finished a run and went into her backyard for a dip in the river.
I'm basically standing in shallow water, and I look from the dark water. Out of nowhere appear the ripples of a giant alligator head.
The gator attacked her, biting her leg. She recalls punching it in its snout, eventually getting away, pulling herself up onto a dock.
The thought came to my mind, this is your last move, and his next is to roll you. And I just screamed and I pried as hard as I could.
A licensed trapper removed the alligator from the Hillsborough River. It weighed more than 400 pounds and measured 10 feet 8 inches. The gator was euthanized. Thompson needed emergency surgery. She spent 3 nights in the hospital.
None of the major nerves were severed. One clean fracture to the fibula, the small bone.
State wildlife officials say serious injuries caused by alligators are rare in Florida. Gators are most active between dusk and dawn. Wildlife officials urge people to never feed an alligator. It's not just dangerous, but also illegal. Thompson says doctors expect a full recovery.
I have a lot of scars, and it's amazing. The more that you get in life, the more you realize people don't pick up on them, they don't notice them. I think this one might be different. I think this one might be a bit more noticeable.
That was WFTS Julie Salomon reporting. Since then, Thompson went into emergency surgery but has since been released from emergency care with only a small fracture.
A high-tech CPR device spreading across the nation has been saving lives, and a man from Central Florida credits it for saving him from a heart attack earlier this year. Labeled the Lucas 3 device, it is a chest compression device that works on its own, and Bob Ewell was at home with just his wife and his neighbor while he was suffering a heart attack until the paramedics arrived. Bob says he did not recognize the machine while it was being used.
I had no recollection of anything from the time I collapsed. I didn't even remember that, to waking up in the hospital a week and a half later.
The machines are becoming more common, and responders say that once it is strapped, automatic chest compressions can begin within seconds.
Employees at Mirage Hotel Casino gave their final farewells at the Las Vegas Strip after 35 successful years in business. KBB's Mike Allen has more on the closing day emotions.
Yeah, I spent the day talking with folks who have worked here for years and years, including day ones. 35 years since 1989 being here at the Mirage behind me. And some of the things they told me include their emotions. They were talking about their favorite memories. Take a listen to what some of them said.
One last eruption Wednesday morning before the iconic Mirage Casino Resort closed for good.
It's very, very emotional to see it go.
Bonnie Wheeler has been there since day one.
It's very sad, it's touching, heartbreaking.
And so had Kathy Averett until she retired 4 years ago. They worked at the sports book together.
We're all like a family, so many memories, and it's just been fantastic. That's why I stayed so long.
When the resort opened and the volcano was brand new, Bonnie would take time to see it whenever she could.
I used to walk out here on my lunches and see how beautiful it was, and then I would go home and tell my husband, can you make me a little waterfall?
And on this last day, in front of the same volcano.
Since I was here day one opening, I wanted to be here the last day that they're open.
Kathy and Bonnie said their final goodbyes to the place where they made so many memories and friends.
I will remember the Mirage the way it always has been.
It's a lifetime of emotions, but I'm just trying to look forward knowing that I always have all these memories to cherish. And I'll miss the building, but I'll still see everybody.
That was KBBU's Mike Allen reporting. A 3-year makeover will take place and the resort will reopen as Hard Rock Las Vegas. Similar to the South Florida Hotel, the Las Vegas one will be renewed as a Gator.
Inter Miami facing Toronto at home last night, showing that they're not like us.
That's still ahead, and so is the story.
I never played with another girl. I never saw another girl on a ball field over a decade. So this is very personally meaningful to me.
And a baseball summer camp giving girls a chance to learn the sport they love. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Radcliffe Art and Design Incubator is the velocity accompanying the fellow's rudder, as in a boat. Unless there is movement or action, the planned direction is of little consequence. We encourage the creative ideas into action, and from the experience of doing, we critically assess the feedback, adjust, and set out to rediscover the potentialities of an entrepreneurial mindset.
STEM is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
Summer swings as the Twins girls baseball summer camp teaches how to play the game. It's the Sandlot in Minnesota as the Twins are running their own girls baseball summer camp.
As CCCO's Mariel Mose reports, they are trying to boost interest for first-time players.
All right, let's get in a circle.
These girls are learning the fundamentals of a sport they love.
Toss. Look at that, that's a great catch.
A sport most have only seen played by the boys.
I've always wanted to try baseball.
9-year-old Danica Salden is following in her dad's footsteps, learning how to play America's pastime and getting hooked quickly.
Here you can just pitch all the time and you can overhand throw it, so I think that's easier and funner.
Outside the walls of CHS Field, it's rare for these 7 to 14-year-olds to find an all-girls team. Most of them play with boys, making this camp extra special for players like 11-year-old Eloise Hansen.
It allows girls to have the opportunity to not just be with boys and think that they can't play when they're older.
Which is exactly what has motivated Twins youth engagement manager Chelsea Falzone.
I never played with another girl. I never saw another girl on a ball field over a decade. So this is very personally meaningful to me.
She says the Twins Community Fund helps offset a lot of costs to put these camps on.
Our goal is to eliminate as many barriers as possible to get them on a ball field.
Being here has helped these girls set big goals for themselves too.
I've always wanted to be a professional player, but I have long ways to go.
And while Kendrick said it 5 times during his concert, let's say it one more time for Toronto FC. They're not like us. Inter Miami found themselves on the winning side of things last night after defeating Toronto FC in Chase Stadium. Federico de Nondo scored the first 2 goals, which helped Inter Miami secure the win. The final score being Inter Miami 3, Toronto FC 1. And they will go on the road to face the Chicago Fire on Saturday at 7:30. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Newsbreak, and we're coming right back.
See us dream. See us remember. See us protest.
You matter. Your feelings matter. Your identity matters. Everything about who you are matters.
See us fight back. See us rebuild. See us shatter stereotypes. See us inspire. See us united. See us now.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
all the time we have for Newsbreak. I am Denise Diaz.
And I'm Anthony Cruz. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.